Alrighty, let's see if we can get a little bit of this done. Before it gets too late, it's already late, but I want to get a little bit of this done at least. Oh, we're at the SAM report. The General Manager report and the public testimony is my favorite part of these meetings. So, let's see what Sammy has got for us today.
Members of the board, staff, and the public, thank you all for being here today with us.
Stop the presses. I just got notified that TriMet has raised the starting pay for trainees to $21 an hour in a major development that might actually attract more people to the job. Good move, TriMet. Now, all they need to do is raise the top wage by another 15 to 20%, and you will have accomplished something. Given the conditions that the operators are working under, they certainly deserve more money than what they're getting. I'd say an actual raise should be more like 25%, considering what they're dealing with. But 15% would be sufficient, so that would be for a $30 an hour employee. That'd be an extra $4.50 an hour. And I think it's well deserved given the kind of money they spend on pork barrels over there.
So we will immediately investigate Jesse Russell complaints with Lyft. So I'm sending out an email as we speak to start that investigation there, President Simmons, and also the comments that Kathleen Brown and Erica Daniels made regarding Broadway cabs. So just let you know that that's going to be taking place immediately.
I hope that that's true. Now, how will we know that? If they don't come back to the board again, we'll never know. Because I've heard over and over them saying, we'll investigate that, we'll take care of that. But then we never hear again what happened. It's never brought up again what actually happened.
Here. And regarding to Mr. Craig's statement, we have a public safety reimagined presentation later in the meeting, and I hope that he stay around to hear some of the things that we have accomplished so far. So President Simmons and board, public, this morning we will be...
And in TriMet's defense on some of they have gotten much more reasonable with the fares, and, they don't sweat them anymore. That's a major accomplishment. That's on the bus side. I hear a lot of bad shit going on the rail side, but I'm only paying attention to the bus side. And on the bus side, they've really changed their whole attitude about that. So that's a kudo. Keep going.
Sharing timely information, introducing you to our new Executive Director of Transportation.
Who is it?
Also, our continued response to COVID-19 pandemic, including our approach to President Biden's administration vaccination mandates.
Yeah, get the vaccine or lose your job. This is the new world order if you've been following my Twitter. This all has nothing to do with your health, folks. I'm sorry if you are unable to see the truth of what's going on, but I have all day, every day to explore the world. I don't watch any mainstream media. I watch and listen to and read alternative media where you can actually get some truth. And all of this has nothing to do with your health, although this is the cover they have provided for their New World Order. But if you can't see it because you have they've replaced Trump derangement syndrome with vaccine derangement syndrome. And they've successfully been able to impact the minds of about 3/4 of the public into believing that somehow those of us who have questions about the vaccines are Trumpers and we're like going to storm the Capitol. They've been able to implant in the mind of the ignorant masses that somehow the Trumpers are responsible for the anti-vax. And it's a complete fabrication lie. The media is always trying to subvert your mind. And unfortunately, most Americans fall for it.
our August ridership report. We will review our quarterly performance report. You will hear from Moss Adams on our annual audit. Also, you'll receive an update on lighting upgrades underway at several of TriMet facilities. You will hear about our electric buses, and then you'll get an update on our transit-oriented development projects. And then last but not least, we're going to give a well-deserved commendation to 2 employees who helped save a stranger's life. So as we get started...
Yeah, you notice that Sam has added this component to these board meetings, which is good. He's added this recognition of various employees at each of these meetings, which is a good thing, I guess. I mean, bring some employees in here for recognition. You can't really say it's a bad move.
This morning, I'd like to introduce to you Rochelle Glaser to the board and formally welcome her to TriMet.
Let's see.
She's our new Executive Director of Transportation Operations. Rochelle came to TriMet from her role as General Manager of U.S. Network Operations for the Canadian National Railway. She brings more than 16 years of experience to the agency, and Rochelle has Northwest roots and makes this move as coming home. She will direct all operational activities for bus, MAX, RES, Lyft, paratransit, and streetcar. So she'll be involved in these investigations that we're getting ready to do here very shortly.
What investigation?
Rochelle also, she's been in the job now for about a month and a week here. So Rochelle, I know you're with us here, so I think your camera is on. Welcome to TriMet, and please take a few moments and just say a few words to the board.
Come on, bring her in.
Thank you for the warm welcome.
Bring her in.
I really appreciate it. It's a privilege and great honor for me to serve in my home state. This is a really important milestone in my career, affording me the opportunity.
Career. These people are all careerists, don't forget. It's a job. It's just a career to all of these people. They're all moving up and moving around in their careers, which part of the problems we're having is because we have these career technocrats in these positions. So we never get any actual change because the career technocrats don't create change. They're all about status quo.
To help move our region forward, fighting climate change, advancing transit services, while providing relentless focus on employee engagement. I'm really excited to be part of the TriMet family, and I look forward to working.
The TriMet family, that's a Sam invention. Those of you who have any remembrance of TriMet history, remember Cornelius Booker of Merlo. He tried to create Team Merlo. He got fired.
Working with each of you. Thank you.
That's it? That's all?
Absolutely. Thanks,
we didn't even get to see his face.
We are absolutely thrilled to have you and believe strongly that you will make a difference for our employees, TriMet, and our region.
Who's this guy? Look at this guy. Looks like a kid, doesn't he?
Working together. So thank you and welcome aboard. Regarding COVID-19, a couple of weeks ago, the Biden administration unveiled a new action plan to confront COVID-19. And that plan included a requirement for large companies with 100 or more employees to...
Here it comes, folks. You're going to get this shot or you're out. You're now living in a totalitarian country where a government official dictates to you what you're going to do, and you won't have a choice if you want a job. That's called totalitarianism. I don't care if they're pretending it's going to save your life and all. It's bullshit. We have all the evidence from other places. We have the evidence from here that the goddamn shots don't even prevent COVID. Oh, but you won't die is their new excuse. It will keep you out of the hospital. No, you are in a totalitarian society. I was critical of Trump. I thought he was acting like a king. Well, Biden has now taken it a step further. He's taken the Trump method and moved it further. And I certainly regret ever voting for Biden. It was a huge mistake. I got conned again. It's only the second time in like 30 years I've been fooled. The first time was with Barack Obama because I thought a black man would do the right thing, and I was made a fool of there. And now Biden, I was worried about Trump's racist tendencies, so I voted for Biden. And you know what? I hate to say it, but I think Trump probably would have been a better president because he wouldn't have been able to do these things that Biden's doing.
Ensure their workforce is fully vaccinated. This mandate will require any workers who remain unvaccinated to produce a negative test results on a weekly basis.
Yeah, see, you either do what we tell you or we torch you weekly. This is totalitarianism under the guise of this is called medical martial law. They would never been able to implement the New World Order agenda with these COVID passes and all that without something like this. This is a scamdemic. I suggest you go to CorbettReport.com and watch some of James Corbett's productions on this, and you'll see he connects all the dots here.
Coming to work. Want to let you know, Board, more direction is expected to come through a rule that will be implemented.
Oh yeah, and furthermore, in New York, they fired the people and they're bringing in the National Guard. Think about that for a minute. They're bringing in medical martial law because they don't want nurses who've been through this entire pandemic from the beginning are being thrown out, and they're bringing in the troops. If you don't see the problem here, then you are totally lost. You are totally blind, and your future is so bad. You're going to find out too late what's going on here. And the fact that so many people are cheering this on is giving us a window as to what happened in Germany in the 1930s. It's the same kind of mass hysteria, and it's been created intentionally by these totalitarians. It's serious, folks. Hopefully I won't be alive to watch the complete collapse of our civilization, but it's already in full progression.
On this requirement by the Occupational Safety and Health Administration. While we await clarity and direction from OSHA, I've been in discussions with our executive team to determine what this means for,
Don't interrupt Sam.
Employees. Although TriMet has not required anyone to get a vaccination yet, we have strongly encouraged it. And we are also offering currently a modest incentive, a vacation day or floating holiday to employees with valid proof of full vaccination by October 31st. There are concerns within the organization that a vaccine mandate could intensify staffing shortages. This is yet another reason why TriMet is actively recruiting new operators, maintenance staff, and other positions throughout the agency.
Oh!
Our recent outdoor hiring event at the Oregon Convention Center was well attended. We continue our hiring efforts throughout the community, and TriMet also continues to do our part in making it easy for people to get vaccines. We're partnering right now with Portland Community College and Virginia Garcia Memorial Health Center to hold vaccination clinics at our Willow Creek Transit Center. 2 were held earlier this month, and there are 3 more free clinics scheduled for next month. Now turning to the August 2021 ridership, TriMet provides...
Yeah, so you heard what he said. They're ramping up the hiring to replace the drivers that don't get vaccinated. Okay, that's why they raised. He just said it. We need to get ready for the operators who won't do this, and there'll be some that will retire. I know that for sure. I don't know how many, but some will definitely say, "Fuck you, I'm out of here. It's not even that great of a job. I'm not going to do this just for you in this fucking shit job."
0.94 million rides in August. That's up about 7.8% from August of 2020, but still down about 51% from August of 2019. Slow, steady growth in ridership that began in March 2021 slowed significantly in August as new cases of COVID-19 surged to record levels in Oregon. So,
yeah, and I want to point out, Oregon had escaped this entire thing until they brought in the vaccine. I mean, Oregon had not been hit by the COVID breakouts that other states, including Massachusetts. But they brought the vaccine in, and then all of a sudden, cases exploded. And if you can't connect 1 + 1 = 2, I can't help you. You're beyond hope.
But for reference, since we didn't meet in August, I also would like to inform you that system-wide ridership for July was 3.95 million, which reflected a 20% increase over July of 2020 and a decrease around 50 to 51% over July 2019.
So they're 50% lower than what their ridership was before the pandemic. But they're still building all their shit, by the way. Okay, the pork barrels are still 100% funded, even though there are 50% less people riding.
So I'd like to pause here now and call forward Miles Crumley, our Service Performance and Analysis Manager, who will join us with a look at our quarterly performance report. Miles, are you ready to go?
Good morning, Sam. Yes.
All right.
Go ahead. We're at, come on, go.
I want to bring up my slides, please.
Look at all these black faces at TriMet now. Who's this guy? So they went from, it's all black faces. It's a little bit odd.
Oh, perfect. So good morning, TriMet Board, General Manager. My name is Miles Conway. I'm the Manager of Service Performance and Analysis, here to present the 2021 second quarterly performance report. In this report, we'll be talking about how TriMet has continued to maintain safe operating environment for our customers and staff in face of a pandemic, continued civil unrest, wildfires, extreme weather, and a sustained 50% decline in ridership. We'll also talk very briefly about the excessive heat that severely impacted service in June of 2021. This quarterly performance report will cover the months of April, May, and June. Next slide, please. First slide we want to talk about is the on-time performance for both Bus, Max, and West.
What happened to that?
Bus is down about 2.4 percentage points from last annual quarter, that is. Max is down about 4 percentage points, and West is down about 6.6 percentage points. Some of the declines in our on-time performance contributed to some West construction on the west side of town in May and June, and then a severe weather event for Max, which impacted service for an entire day on June 28th. There's also, as we know, the commute patterns in Portland have started to pick back up. So in addition to having just regular service impacts, there's also additional congestion on the roads. Next slide, please.
That's a pretty significant drop in on time.
Fixed operator bus complaints are down to about 13.5%. So this is about a drop by about 10.2 percentage points per 100,000 boardings. As you can see, this time for the previous one was about 13.5 per 100,000 boardings. We continue to see about 33% of the complaints are public relations, so that's between the operator and the public. Service delivery, about 35%, and then safety related at 31%. Slide.
Who used to give this report before? This is somebody new.
Max operator complaints remain stable. We saw a drop by about 0.4% per 100,000, 0.4 percentage points, sorry, per 100,000 boardings.
Who did this job before this guy? Who used to provide? Who the hell was it, man? What happened? I forgot who it was. I know, it's off the tip of my tongue, the guy who used to do these reports. Oh, I can't think of it.
Again, 63% of the complaints are public relations. So again, that's between the operator and customers. 25% are service delivery related, and 12% are safety related. Next slide.
Oh,
Rail rule violations.
oh my God, look what happened. The rail rule violations are up.
So we did see a spike during Q2 of 2021 in rail rule violations. This was addressed by field operations. The explanation is typically we've had an influx of new operators on the rail system, and thus we do have a correlation between new operators and increased rail rule violations. Since then, field operations has acquired additional support from training to help bring the numbers down for Q3. Next slide. Lift miles between roll calls is trending back down, which is good. In this particular situation, down is the reverse, but the number is actually going back up, which is good compared to the previous quarter. Lift continues to rely on the largest vehicles within the fleet due to COVID capacity restrictions. By the end of FY23, a lot of these vehicles will be gone, so we expect the miles between roll calls to go back up. Next slide. Fixed route bus mean distance between failure remains about the same as it was a year ago. Compared to our industry peers, we expect a number between 10 and 11,000 miles between failures, so I would say that TriMet is within that route. Slide. Light rail mean distance between failure has gone down slightly, down about 1,000 miles compared to last year. We have seen a 40% increase in door failures for Type 1, 2s, and 3s. Those are the oldest trains that we operate, the Type 1s being the Bombardier high floor trains that we operate. However, I did want to share a success story. Over the years, as we continue to look at why we're having these particular failures, it was identified that there was an issue with one of the braking systems on one of the trains. And through an experiment, we were actually able to increase the reliability of that component. And so our trains, after we identified that issue, we realized that we needed to address how our trains stopped. And so the brake equipment is starting to become more reliable as we dig into these failures. Next slide. Fixed route bus collisions, as I said earlier, we're having increased traffic out on the roadways, and so with that, we're starting to see an increase in bus collisions. 4.3 collisions per 100,000 miles is actually still low compared to the amount of service that we operate on a daily basis. Again, 44% of the collisions that we're seeing are mirror strikes, so it's something that it's part of how we actually operate. Next slide. Max collisions, we saw a slight increase in max collisions up to 1.55 per 100,000 miles. This is about a 0.51 increase from this time last year. Overall, this rate is low. As a reminder, there aren't as many collisions on max compared to the amount of service that they operate. So anytime there's a small change in the number of collisions, the rate may increase to a point, but it's not as high as it is. That's it. Are there any questions?
Let me jump in before we go here, Miles. Just want to thank you and the team for your efforts. You, Nathan, Brett, Rogers.
What happened to the other guy? What was his name? Zatarain, was it? Who used to do these?
Simmons. Any questions from the board?
No, what's the question?
Yeah, through President Simmons, I had a question, Mr. Crumley. What is the result of the rail violations that occurred? Is there any penalties that we receive or any kind of for those violations? And also, since we did find out that there was maybe a missing piece in the training of the new operators, has that been incorporated into the training going forward so we don't revisit those violations again?
For the first question, I'm not sure. However, I will get back to you on that one to see if there is, with our regulatory agencies, how we actually report that. And then I've also followed with John Santana, our director of rail operations, to see how the training has changed based on what we've learned so far. So I will follow up and get back to you on that.
Okay, thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions from the board?
I have a question.
Ozzy.
Simmons, thank you. This is
Ozzy baby!
Time performance. I know that that we're seeing commuter patterns pick up once again, and I know that we are seeing, as of now, on-time performance heading the opposite direction of what I think we would love to be seeing. Is there anything we are looking at doing here that will remedy this, that might stem the tide as we continue to see increased commuter patterns over time? Yes. So TriMet, in addition to, I'll be brief because we've actually been doing a lot over COVID. You might be aware of the Rose Lane Project, which is a partnership that TriMet has with the city of Portland. The way that we're addressing this is by identifying the routes in different parts of the city where we are starting to see the performance slip, and working with the city and our other jurisdictional partners to figure out how can we actually speed the bus up. There is a long list of actual Rose Lane projects, and if you want, I can get you in touch with the person who's leading that, because I don't have the list in front of me. But that is one way that we're actually investigating is how can we actually speed up the service by working with our partners.
What?
I would like to jump in also. I wanted to bring Roland Hoskins and Rochelle Glacier in. They're also looking at, we've had an uptick in maintenance failures, and they're taking a look at that right now. So maybe if you guys give them just a quick update on what you're doing there as well.
Certainly. I can kick us off there. So that was one of the items that we looked at, and in collaboration with Maintenance and Transportation, we're going to be holding a monthly roundtable to address some of those service interruptions and on-time performance. The other piece is obviously the operator shortage. We have had some challenges there, and we are working to onboard people as quickly as possible. We're also seeking internal options to see what other incentives or maybe some things that we need to change internally to be able to recruit the needed operators. So those are a couple of things from my point. I don't know if you want to add anything, Roland.
Where's Roland? Where's this Roland?
No, I think we did wonderfully. Really, really pleased to have a partner in transportation.
Yeah, he's a black guy too. They're all black now. They changed from an all-white staff to an all-black staff. Isn't that something? Of course, this woman is white, but she's a woman, so they don't have any white males. Okay. I can find that a little bit ridiculous. I can understand. I mean, really, from one extreme to the other.
We're looking forward to addressing the issues. I think the other part that we've done is we've added capacity in both our engineering group within REM, which has yielded great results, kind of sparked by what Miles shared earlier. And then also Miles and his group have been pretty wonderful in helping us get much better data and our analysis.
Yeah, here we go with the mutual dick sucking.
And so also some of the things that have happened is we've changed how we manage data. So they're also working on reliable methods for the data reporting, which also kind of has a negative impact on our numbers, because as we get better measurements and more accurate numbers, we get a much better look at our system. So I see us as improving, continually improving from here on forward. So I'm pretty excited and looking forward to working with the team.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that, everyone. That's a good answer, and I really appreciate that. My only thought to add is that there's a lot of promise in being able to look at better data, and my hope is we're able to not only use it as a rearview mirror sort of statistic of how we've been doing, but it does help us kind of not only forecast but project and have some data-informed decision-making on where we need to really focus resources. So I'm really excited that you're all working together and thinking about this comprehensively. I know that there's a lot of factors, and I'm glad to hear we're working with our agency partners. There's many pieces to this, but on-time performance is one of those
indicators that just kind of capture a big story.
He didn't mention the canceled bus runs, the lack of release. They left out all of that, and there's like 15 or more runs canceled a day. We hear it on the radio, and he left that out. They just left it out. I always remember these board meetings are scripted to make sure there's no negativity shown at the meeting. These are not real. These meetings are scripted theater. And everybody that's been following me knows that. This is scripted theater. And the main thing is to make sure they don't make TriMet look bad publicly. So, I mean, the system is shit. Those of us who follow it know that. They're never going to say that because they can't say the truth. They're just, they're government officials. They're not going to tell you the truth. We know the truth, the few of us that actually follow it. It's crap right now. They don't have enough operators and they don't have enough mechanics. They're running a shit show. And so they're not bringing any of that up, of course, and it's too bad. But, I expect that. I don't expect them to. I never go into these things expecting them to be honest. I know better than that.
Matters a lot to the public. So thank you.
And thank you, Director Gonzalez. Safe, on time, convenient.
Yeah, safe, on time, and convenient. You are none of those things, Sam. None of them. Zero. I'm not going to get excited because I ruined the audio. If I get excited, the audio distorts.
Those key indicators that we want in cleanliness.
Yeah.
We want to make sure.
Well, I don't know about the cleanliness. Sometimes it's cleanly.
We stay focused on. So, as I close out with the quarterly report, just want to thank all of our frontline representatives, all of our frontline employees from transportation, maintenance, safety and security, and our customer service components. Thank you all for what you do for us every day. And thank you, Miles. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, I would like to bring in Ashley Osteen and Rich.
We're going to stop there because it's getting late back east here. And I want to show you something because it was funny. Let me see if I can find it here. Okay, this is it.
Get down!
This is New York.
Get down! Get down! Get down!
Who throws his shoe at him?
Get down! Get down!
That is so cool, isn't it? So New York. Fucking fantastic.
Get down!
One more time.
Get down! Get down! Get down! Get down! Get down! Get down!
It's like the coolest thing I've ever seen happen.
Get down!
All right, turn it off.
Get down!
All right, over and out for this episode.